welcome back to Boys on Film. My name is Phil, that is Raj. I always get it wrong every time. Got to remember it's mirror image. So if you love movies like we do, join the conversation. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment down below if you're interested in the film we're talking about today. It's a film by Jason Karman. It is called Golden Delicious on Peccadillo Pods, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, all the information down below.
I really enjoyed this film. How can I be in my 40s and only see Asian representation in a gay film in this day and age? Like, it's just so few and far between of films, but kind of in the Love Simon era of queer filmmaking, I think this fits in quite nicely.
When I was watching it, I was thinking, this reminds me of Love Victor. It's the same production values, very stylized in the same way.
I think I'm going to pick this one up on DVD and add to the collection because I just really enjoyed it. There are some classic tropes. Girlfriend walks in on, gay boyfriend's first gay experience and, coming out to the mom and dad and the classic, oh, bully called me the F word, blah, 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 blah. But, it's done quite well. And what, this whole movie could have been just focused around Jake being queer and coming out. But what I really liked about the movie is every part of the family, the mom and the dad and the daughter Janet, all had an interesting little storyline. It
didn't just focus on him as the protagonist. It did tell the story of the other people in the family. And the friends as well. Before
I even watched the film, I was betting with myself that they must own a restaurant called Golden Delicious, because why would they name and of course they did. So it is a little bit tropey, but in places, but it's cute. It works. I've never seen any of these actors in anything before, so quite looking forward to just seeing what this film and what sort of launch pad it has for these Canadian actors. I don't know if they're Canadian or not, but it's taking place in Vancouver, British Columbia. So in all essence, it's a Canadian queer film.
Well, I knew you were going to love this movie. I just think it's got Raj written all over it. Stamped across the whole thing. So let's talk about the story. So it's high school senior Jake. He's the protagonist. He's living a fairly complicated, but it gets even more complicated life when Aleks moves in. He's across the way. We see Jake, who's playing basketball. He's out in his backyard. He spots Aleks. He's spotted him a few weeks before, and he's a keen photographer as well, so he's taking pictures of him, which I thought was a bit creepy, actually, without knowing. It's like when people take photos on the tube. But he's struggling with the pressures of his father's demands. His father's kind of angsty, and I thought he was a little bit over the top. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's meant to be deliberate because it's the storyline, isn't it? His father's going through some turmoil. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but his father's got issues. And I guess he wants his son to be, high-performing student as well.
He wants him to follow in his footsteps of being, the MVP basketball star that he sort of had in his youth. And instead the father has issues too, the mother has issues of sacrifice and what she's had to give up. She gave up her happiness to run the family business of running Golden Delicious. It just felt like it was really well connected, and even the steamy scenes are like, ooh, oh my God, it's kind of steamy in here.
There were a couple of steamy scenes. I sent you a message saying, oh my God, that changing room scene. There was a changing room scene where they're playing basketball, and we've got this. Well, a couple of villains in this film. One of the villains is the team captain, who is being very homophobic. Yeah, something happens in that changing room, which I kind of questioned. Would that really happen? I'm not so sure. I mean, obviously, Aleks is very confident, very cocksure, but I'm not sure if that would happen. I mean, he was trying to prove a point, I guess.
Definitely an 80s rom-com. Comedies, that definitely would not happen. But Phil, when's the last time we've been in a teenage boy's locker room?
Well, that's true. Yeah, we can't really be the experts on that, can we? I guess.
Exactly. So maybe that is happening. Maybe that resonates with some queer teenager out in Canada. Who knows?
Yeah, and if you're wondering what I'm talking about, Aleks does actually give the villain, the homophobic guy, a lap dance, which is, he's grinding his hips in his face.
Yeah, and to allow, another queer character to be such an important player on the basketball team. Like, that wouldn't happen in an 80s rom-com either.
Yeah, yeah.
This film does make some strides in its representation. Is it believable? And like I said before, a little tropey. I don't think that takes away from the enjoyment of the film at all.
No, I mean, it has got a pace. It kept me entertained throughout. I mean, it did feel a little bit surface in some parts, whereas I was kind of brought out of the film. But I don't think it's meant to be that kind of film. I think it's meant to be, there's a lot going on, like we said, with the story. And I did write that in the notes. I liked how there was a story for each character. And the mother was worn out from working in the restaurant. The daughter was keen on cooking and wanted to carry on was it her grandmother's traditions?
Grandma noodles.
Yeah. And I thought that was really sweet. That was quite endearing. And obviously, the son, Jake, has obviously got issues as well with his sexuality. He's seeing this girl. And, I'm not going to say whether that works out or not, but, their sexuality explored. And it was good. It kind of crammed in quite a lot. I mean, it was nearly 2 hours. It wasn't like a short film.
Yeah, absolutely. It was full of golden deliciousness.
It was full of cold, delicious nuggets. Yeah, so I think, the father being a little bit panto villain did seem a bit OTT. And obviously, we've got that homophobic character as well, which I wasn't sure about, but I guess that does happen. I'm not sure if it happens in the same situations, but I enjoyed it. I didn't love it, but I thought there was enough there to keep me entertained.
I kind of feel the same way, although I maybe liked it a little bit more than you. So
I think you did.
I would give this a 3-star, but if we're doing the half, then I do the 3.5, maybe 3.75.
Yeah, I was toying with 2, but I thought, no, that's a bit unfair, because I think it was an entertaining film, so I'm going to go for 3. But you know what it reminded me of? It felt a little bit like in feel, not just Love Victor, but also that film we saw recently, Egghead and Twinkie, which I think we saw at Flair last year.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of reminded me a little bit of that. Yeah, I think it's coming out.
Yeah.
I think it's getting a major release.
We've forgotten about all the stuff that we've seen that still isn't even out yet.
I know, yeah. If you've enjoyed this review, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up as well. And Raj, I'll see you on the next one.